Do I shut the whole thing off?
What? No. Oh, yeah, yes. Right, the beat, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, how'd that happen?
Probably gotta turn it down. I think it's running a little loud. That's why.
Too loud?
The microphone's a little hot. I think that's why it's being.
Okay. All right, so should I turn it down a little bit?
I would turn it down just a little bit. Not much. No, it's the microphone, not the guitar.
Yeah, no, I think I turned the microphone down. I didn't touch it, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're very glad to be back here. We're getting ready to start our second set. And we have a special event we have planned for you tonight. So, back in the 70s and 80s, a number of us in the band, my buddy Rick Comfort, buddy Randy Pegataro, myself, and another guy, we had a band. And we played around in Haven, and we did original rock and roll music, and it was great. So, I'm just curious, 1980, Butch, how old were you then?
14.
Okay, so he was touring with us, but he was a little underage at the time. But in any event, we had this band, and we just like to go out and play, and we're going to show you a little bit about what we did.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, in the case of the defendant, Bugsy Brutal, on the charge of statutory rape, have reached a verdict.
We have, Your Honor!
How do you find the defendant?
The man is guilty!
The man is crazy.
No, I'm the man is crazy. You're the man is guilty.
Sorry.
All right, we'll do it again.
Now, Butch starts it though, right?
Yeah,
Well, I'll pretend to be
doesn't
Rick
matter.
if you want.
what's that?
You want me? Are you gonna?
You're going to do two. You're going to do yourself and Rick.
Okay.
Okay? Okay.
So
anyhow.
do I still start that, man?
Yeah, as soon as I get done with my spiel, bang, bang, bang. Because you're the gal.
But the man is guilty part. What do I
Well,
do?
You do first. Let him do first. 1, 2, 3, crazy.
And the cool thing here is to try to make the man's guilty as quick as you can make it go from guy to guy.
Okay, right. We don't want any laughs, right? Or boom, boom, boom. That's right. So anyhow, we had a band, and we're gonna give you a little taste of it. Something like this.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, in the case of the defendant, Bugsy Brutal, on the charge of statutory rape, have reached a verdict.
No, it's the state of Connecticut versus the defendant Bugsy Brutal on the charge of statutory rape. It's not the case. You said the case of.
Oh,
That's all right. That's why we're doing it. Okay.
don't say in the case of?
No, you do. It goes on the case. You could say the case of, but you didn't say the state of Connecticut.
Okay.
You gotta say that part. Okay. So anyway, we're getting older as we go. So yeah, we used to tour around. So we're gonna give you a little taste of that music,
In cases,
ladies and gentlemen.
ladies and gentlemen, the case of the state of Connecticut versus the defendant, Bugsy
Ladies
Brutal.
and gentlemen of the jury.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just take your time. It's all right. All right. Well, we're gonna do it now, no matter what you say. So, but that's how it's supposed to roll out. So anyhow, we had a little rock and roll band, and kind of went like this.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, in the case of the defendant, Bugsy Brutal, on the charge of statutory rape, have reached a verdict.
We have, Your Honor.
How do you find the defendant?
The man is guilty!
The man is guilty. The man is guilty.
The man is crazy. Here it comes.
She had long legs. She was beautiful. She was sexy. Never had to ask. Oh. And the song is, I can have you or turning my heart to the night. I'm only just a boy. I got time to fool around.
third verse twice, okay? Because the last verse goes back to I'm only just a boy, and then it goes up. But that's all right, we'll get it next time.
Okay.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to all of you here, the man himself, Mr. Bugsy Brutal, who's
Thank
out
you very
here
much.
giving you a taste of what we used to do. But as he would say, all of our stuff wasn't always so perverted. Sometimes it was introverted. I'll straighten that one out. In any event, our buddy back here, Mr. Rick Comer from California. And by the way, let people see Rick. No, come over here. Come over here.
Where is he?
He's right there. He's sitting right there.
Oh, okay, all right.
Just standing right around here.
So Bugsy wrote the Mean and Nasty songs. But Rick Comfort, what was the influence, Bugsy?
Cape
The
Cod.
Cape Cod influence. Any event, so this is his song that he wrote, and you're going to know exactly because it's the same as title as This Is My Song. Starting it again.
Let me ask one before we start.
What?
Do I sing Rick's part in this?
No, you sing your part. You sing the song. He only sings,
He
Mr.
doesn't- Oh, he doesn't sing a part? I don't know.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
You sing the song, we get to him, and you go, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rick Comfort, and then he sings.
Yeah, but what's he gonna do tonight?
I'm going to sing his part.
Okay, all right, so I'm out.
Alright, here we go again. And it's called This Is My Song. my guitar is out of tune, we just gotta catch those little pieces, okay? That's all, but other than that, it's good. Wanna do it again?
Yeah, if you want.
Let's do it again.
Let me ask you, do you think it was a little too fast?
I don't wanna talk about that right now, okay?
Okay.
That's not for tonight,
Okay.
okay? More important is,
Just getting you.
right, and there were singing parts you're missing, we're not talking about that tonight, okay? It's just, don't worry about the beat, okay? That's the last thing you can worry about.
Worry about you singing what you're supposed to sing, okay?
Then we'll be good. Hold on, guys. And worry about not saying Brother Don, which you didn't do, okay? You
Well, yeah,
will-
it was because it was Rick.
No, my intro,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, okay, so that's more important than the beat right now, okay? We'll square all that other stuff away.
All right,
That's structure of the song, which is more important.
Okay.
there's a part I missed on my singing.
Yeah,
What was it?
you did the same verse and didn't do the new verse.
All right.
We're gonna do it again. Except this time, this is my dong.
Let's let me know you're ready.
Go ahead. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
doing something.